Joan Rivers, in the sequel to her autobiography, told the story of her firing from her late-night talk show on the Fox network, which had a disastrous one-season run from 1986 to 87, opposite Johnny Carson and The Tonight Show. Joan admitted she was harboring revenge fantasies, and one of those, which she didn't carry out, but she was going to get a key to the executive men's washroom, get a nice big fish, and stick it in the heating vent where it would not be found, but it certainly would get noticed after a few days. Well, that didn't happen, but it reminded me of a similar story that did happen, and it involved a man who was cheating on his wife with another woman, and he announced to the wife that he wanted a divorce so he could be with his mistress. He had a much better lawyer, screwed the woman over badly. She got almost no settlement, and what was worse, he got the house, and he ordered the woman to vacate by a certain date so that he and his new woman could move in. Well, this lady, as you can imagine, was pretty low, and she'd lost hope, and it was the last night she was going to be there. She was packing up her boxes and belongings, and she had gone to a local restaurant to treat herself to a seafood dinner, which she brought home with her. And she looked up, and she was struck with a moment of inspiration. She saw the curtain rods and ran over and took them down. She unscrewed the cap and got the idea of taking the seafood, breaking it up, all the shells and everything, and stuffing it all inside the rod, and then putting the cap back on and rehanging the curtains. And like a good girl, she vacated the next day, and the ex-husband and his mistress moved in promptly, where they had maybe a day or two of bliss until they started noticing this reeking odor. And this odor got worse, and it became putrid and foul and nauseating. And the man and the woman were getting ill. And as it got worse, it was just penetrating and permeating throughout the entire house from top to bottom, to where they were losing their minds, and they were searching, and they could not find where the source of this unbearable stench was coming from. And out of desperation, they realized they had to get out of there. So they bought another home, and the man called his ex-wife up and said, "I've had a change of heart. I decided I'm going to let you have the house after all." And the wife was like, "Well, really? All right, if you insist." So over the coming days, the man and his mistress had a moving van come, and they started loading it up with all their belongings and their furniture so they could get out of that unbearable stench house to their new home. But the last thing they took with them were the curtain rods. Please like and subscribe my channel, Chuck's Captivating Chronicles.